Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Tamir Geffen, and I'm the CEO of ALM Toolbox. We are a premier partner of GitLab Company, and we provide professional services and training, private hosting, and selling of licenses to customers from all over the world. And today, I'm hosting Fabio Bussato, Senior Product Manager of Secure at GitLab Company. Fabio is joining us from Milan, Italy. Fabio, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. How are you?
Fine, thanks. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you for joining us. Okay, so today we are going to cover the following. So first, we will talk about the vision of GitLab and code security. Then we will see an overview of all code security features included in GitLab. Then it's a demo time. We will see how it works as part of development and CI processes. And then we have time for questions and answers. And if you want, you can use the chat to ask some of your questions. Okay, Fabio, let's get started and talk about the current vision of GitLab and code security, and I'm giving you the access. So just 1 second.
Thank you, and welcome everyone. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yeah, it's
perfect.
It works. Thank you.
So let's talk about GitLab and security capabilities. GitLab, as you probably already know, is a single application that covers all the DevOps life cycle. This is very important because the single application approach allows us to be on all the stages with just one single product. This makes very, very easy to integrate all the things you need for developing your application into one single flow. So we are actually covering all the stages from the planning to the monitoring of the deployed application. And this is good, but what about security? Security is something very important. And mainly the code that you are using, given by your developers or taken outside, like a dependency or an external software that you are integrating into yours, is a possible trap. It means that it may contain vulnerabilities, known or unknown, that will affect the security of your product in production, making you exposed to possible attacks. So this is very, very important topic. And in GitLab, we want to ensure that all the applications developed and deployed using our software are secure in the best way possible. That's why, started probably mostly 1 year ago, we implemented security features as part of the verify stage of the DevOps lifecycle. These features will allow you out of the box, without any external tool, any other software, to check the security of your software even before the code is merged into the master branch, the stable branch. This is very important because we want to left shift security by default. It means that we don't have to wait that the application is out, published for everyone, and subject to attacks in order to know if you're vulnerable or not. We want to warn you in advance if we can spot it while you're writing your code. So looking at the features that we provide as part of the GitLab application, we have the static application security testing, the dependency scanning, container scanning, dynamic application security testing, and a feature that is not specifically about security, but is also very related, that is license management. We built all these features inside the merge request widget. So that's the very left of the development. So let's look at how GitLab sees vision for secure.
Fabio, one comment, please. We can see our camera, so if you want, you can turn it on, or maybe if you don't, so you can turn it off, so we will see the whole screen.
So here is how GitLab sees the DevOps life cycle. And as you can see, we have a new stage that is secure. This stage is not just in line with other stages, it's covering the entire DevOps life cycle. That's why we want to bring security in all the stages, not just in one. And there are a couple of links you can follow if you want to get detailed information about the secure vision and the product vision for this year and the next year. So we'll talk to you later. Okay, I want now to briefly show you the one by one the features that we have as part of the actual offering at GitLab. So let's start with the first one, that is the static application security testing, or SAST. This tool is a tool that is automatically executed by GitLab on your code base. It performs static analysis on the source code itself, spotting possible problems that are due to bad programming or insecure use of paradigms. The results are very vary on different languages, and so they support a lot of different languages and frameworks, but the results are all put together in one single view. That is the merge request security report. So let's see how this merge request looks like. As you can see, this is the standard merge request widget you are used to if you are familiar with GitLab. So in this merge request widget, we add a security report. The security report gives you an overview on the security status of your project, and then a detailed list of vulnerabilities that have been spotted by the feature in your code. It is very interesting because, as you can see, we have red items that are the new vulnerabilities that have been spotted due to your new code in the merge request, and green items that are things that have been fixed by your code. So just to explain it in simple words, if the master branch has a vulnerability and you fix it in your merge request, you can see the vulnerability marked as green. If the master branch doesn't have a vulnerability and your code is introducing a new one, you will see it as a red flag. That's why we want developers to focus on what their changes are bringing to the software. So that's why we make a sort of diff from the original and the final results. And so you can focus as a developer to fix your own code. Let's see now the second feature, that is dependency scanning. Dependency scanning is very important nowadays because mostly every project is using external libraries, I don't know, Maven packages or NPM dependencies in order to build your own application. You don't want to write it from scratch all the time. And so we want to ensure that these external dependencies you are not responsible for are secure and can be used safely in your code, because if a dependency is vulnerable, obviously also your code could be vulnerable. And so we check and we got this information from advisories that are coming from the outside, and this is very important. So if a version that you're using in your software is vulnerable, we want to warn you so you can, for example, bump to a latest version that is not vulnerable anymore, ensuring that also your software is not vulnerable at all. As you can see in the list, we support different languages, different package managers, and in this specific case, one of the tools that we are using is Gymnasium. Gymnasium was a very interesting tool. Mostly 1 year ago, we acquired the company, and so now the Gymnasium team is part of the GitLab team, and they are actively working to improve our security features in GitLab. Let's move to the next one. Okay, here you can see in the merge request, you can see the same report as part of the security report in the merge request. Even here, you have the diff between the original code and your changed code. So you can spot new vulnerabilities you are introducing and vulnerabilities that were previously in master and you fixed. The next topic is container scanning. Nowadays, most of the applications are built into a Docker container and then published as a Docker container, or even better, deployed to a Kubernetes cluster. That's why the container itself could be vulnerable even if the code is not, because the container is not just your application, but also a set of libraries and system tools that are included in this sort of a small mini Linux distribution. we want to ensure with container scanning that there are no vulnerable components in your container at all. We are using a tool that is clear, that is able to scan any kind of Docker or FC image, and we will propose the vulnerable code, the vulnerable entries in the merge request widget as well. So as you can see, even here, you have an entry that will explain you the new and the old fixes that you did. The last security-related topic is dynamic application security testing. The approach is very simple. You can check your code, but sometimes vulnerabilities are coming from the runtime environment or the runtime behavior of your application. That's why we want to ensure that your application is not vulnerable when deployed. That's scary because you say, okay, if I have to deploy it, it's already in production, and so someone can attack it. And that's why we want to run this tool before you publish your application in production. That's possible using review apps at GitLab. Review app is a feature at GitLab that will allow you to deploy a sort of private version test application on a Kubernetes cluster. And from there, you can run the attack tool and see if this is vulnerable or not, even before it's really in production. As usual, if the tool finds something bad, it's reported in the merge request widget. So you're able to fix your code and to test it again before committing code to master and before sending it to production. We also have another feature that is included in the security features package. It's license management. You know that most of the time you are dealing with a lot of dependencies, and these dependencies have specific licenses. You want to ensure that there is a compliance between your own license approach and the licenses coming because of dependencies. So the license management feature is able to spot all the possible dependencies and to bring to your attention if you are introducing a new license into your code base because of a dependency. This will allow you to check if this license is compatible or not with your model and define if you want to accept the merge request with the new license introduced or if you want to change something. It's possible to define a list of licenses that you don't want to allow in your project or a list of licenses that you want to allow in a project. So even if as a developer you are not responsible for license management, you may already know what the admins, the maintainers of the project are allowing for you. And so you can see this report is also included in the merge request widget. We'll see all these reports later in a live demo, so it will make very clear how to use them. Just to recap everything, a fundamental shift for companies. So we want to have proactive security as soon as possible. And these security issues are reported in the pipelines and in the merge request. That is very interesting approach because this allows you to fix and to be aware of any possible security implication even before your code is merged into your master branch, your stable branch. Everything is part of GitLab. So you don't have to connect an external tool. You don't have to deal with other licenses and to buy other software. It's just all part of our offering. There is a zero context switching to proactively secure applications. Okay, now it's time for a very quick demo. Tamir, is it fine if I start the demo now?
Yeah, sure. You have enough time. No worries.
Okay. So I will start just creating a new project, just to show you how simple it is to start with security at GitLab. So this is the standard new project page at GitLab. I put some name, test project, and make the project public because I love to be public every time. And I click on create project. This will create a new project that is here and you can start committing your code. For the sake of this demo, I will create another project coming from our template. So we already have some code to show security features. So I selected the Spring template, and I'm going to create another project. So this is the very same process you can do. Just create a new empty project and push your code, and you are at this very point. There is no pipeline definition. You can see that there is no GitLab YAML file here, so we don't have any CI/CD pipeline already defined by us. But the very good thing is that we can enable auto DevOps by default on a project like this, just with a matter of a couple of clicks. So let's go to settings and enable auto DevOps. Auto DevOps is our best practices for CI/CD. So even if you know nothing about CI/CD, it's very, very easy to start with a pipeline. As you can see, a new pipeline has been created as soon as I turn it on, auto DevOps. And this pipeline definition already includes all the security testing on your code. So as you can see, there is a build stage that is obviously building your software and an image for it. And then we have other jobs that are in the test stage, code quality, that is not strictly related to security, but we have container scanning, dependency scanning, license management, SAST. So all these jobs are automatically executed if you want to use auto DevOps. Otherwise, obviously, you can define them manually, just copying and pasting our snippets of code for these job definitions in any pipeline you want to run in GitLab. Now let's move quick to an existing project. Sorry, but it takes too much time to wait for all these jobs to complete, and we have just a few minutes. So I prepared a merge request with a security report in it. You can see this is a very standard merge request at GitLab. You have a security scanning detected 63 new vulnerabilities and fixed 3. So I know from this summary that it's very important to jump in this report. So I can expand it, and I can see the list of possible problems. From here, I can click on the details. I can see where the problem is in the file, which is the severity, the confidence, and I can take two actions. I can dismiss a vulnerability. It means that I don't think this is a real vulnerability, so I checked it and I'm fine with it. It's a false positive. Or I can create an issue to start the remediation process. So the issue will contain all the information about this vulnerability, and I can engage with developers in order to get them fixed. You can see all the reports are here, and they are very actionable. We can also go on a security dashboard for the specific project that is giving us the very good overview on the security status of the master branch. So we always know which is the security status of our application. And I think that I very quickly show all the important things at GitLab. So we can maybe have the question and answer session. Tamir, do you want to?
Yes. Okay. Yes, I see a few questions right now. Just a second. Yeah, I see there was a question when you talked about the container security, and the question was how to validate the data against false positive.
That's a very interesting question. So what is very important is that we don't enforce a flow. We just provide you all the information we can provide in order to allow you to know and to check which is the actual status. So data is in the merge request, but it's not blocking anything in your process. So you are the one that can jump in, take all the information that we give to you, and take the final decision on it.
Okay. Okay, just a second. Now there is a question. I see not one only, but more than once. How code security is being compared to other solutions in the market? You know, not about the SAST only, but probably generally speaking.
Yeah, that's a very common question and very interesting. So my gut reaction is if you go on GitLab.com, you can find comparison page. And we already filled a few comparisons between GitLab security features and other security tools. Just talking at a high level, I can say that our best benefit is that we are a single application. So everything is automatically included into GitLab and part of the workflow. So you don't have to switch to different tools. We can cross-link the source code and issues and the security reports all in one single interface. And that's a very, very important thing.
Okay. Another question is, who should fix the problems discovered in SAST? Do you assume the developers will fix it?
Yeah, other interesting question. So we provide information in the merge request widget. So mainly a developer can know about his status, his security status, and fix it. But if you are using a reviewer approach or an approval approach, it means that there is someone that has to take the final call saying, yes, this is fine to merge. So this person, the reviewer, can stop the merge and say to the developer, no, this is not secure enough. We are also focusing on security teams as part of first-class citizen in GitLab. We are building features like a security dashboard at the group level that will allow a security team expert to jump in and start a discussion, a remediation process from a security point of view. So even if developers are not really involved or let's say interested in fixing vulnerabilities because the code is working, even if not secure, security teams will be able to have a very good overview and engage and stop the process if it's not just matching the security requirements they have.
Okay, thank you. So another question is, do pipeline security part of code security?
Oh, I'd say no, not because we don't care about pipeline security, obviously, but pipeline security is part of a different stage of GitLab, and we want to separate them. One thing is the security of GitLab itself, so the pipeline security, that is very important, and we are working on it a lot, not as part of the secure team, but as part of the CI/CD and the managed team. One thing is ensuring that the applications customers are building and publishing via GitLab are secure. So there are two very distinct areas. We care about both, but security features offering is specifically for security of your application. It's not just about code security, actually, because in 2019, we want to expand our vision to cover the full DevOps life cycle. So also deployments or production environments, network security, and all this kind of thing will be covered by GitLab security features.
Okay, thank you. Okay, another question. Should I necessarily use GitLab CI if I want to enjoy all code security features?
That's a very interesting question. So the answer is no, but it's very, very suggested to do that because it is the only way to have everything automatically integrated and available in one single application. There are cases where people cannot move to GitLab CI yet, so they are stuck with Jenkins or other software. In these cases, we can provide some sort of support, so the reports are still available if you are using the same file format as GitLab is doing, but it's really not suggested because it's not possible then to get all the cross-links and the integration you may have in a single application if you use all the GitLab features.
Okay. Another question. I think you discussed about it a little bit, but maybe you want to mention it further. The question is, will the security features discovered will point to a fix?
Yeah, that's something that we are working on. So in GitLab 11.5, that is the next release, we are starting to implement these suggestions. And so people will be able to see a possible remediation. For example, version 1 of your dependency is vulnerable, you have to update it to version 3. That is the first one that is not vulnerable anymore. We are gonna implement a feature called auto-remediate that is exactly about that. The final goal is to have your code automatically spotted for vulnerabilities, fixed in the repo. Then we run automatically a pipeline to check that all the unit tests, integration tests are still green, and then we'll merge it and we deploy it in production for you without any human intervention. The final step is that we will monitor the performances of your application in production And in case the application is not performing well, it will be reverted to the previous version. Obviously, you will be notified about all these steps, but you don't have to take actions immediately. So you can just arrive in the morning at the office and see a bunch of notifications saying, okay, we found these vulnerabilities, they were fixed, they were deployed, and everything is fine. Or, no, you have to take care of this one specifically because we started the remediation process, but it didn't end very well for some reasons, and so you need to take some manual intervention. And you have all the details, so you can start working to the final resolution with a lot of information there.
Okay, interesting. Okay, I see another two questions. Just a second. Are these security features available for all plans?
No, at the moment they are all part of the ultimate tier of GitLab. On GitLab.com specifically, they are in the gold subscription plan, but you can get them for free for public projects.
Yeah.
That is how GitLab.com is acting now.
Okay, thank you. And I can say to all our listeners that later on I will send a hyperlink with all the details of how to see all features included in GitLab and what edition they belong to. Okay, so last question I see, do you plan to add more code security features in future?
Absolutely. We never stop adding new features, and our vision is very, very ambitious. So we are growing a lot the team in order to get it done. As said, you can find on our website in the direction page the plan for 2019. That is very interesting because it's about expanding the security features, not just to code security, but to development security in general. So also environments and deployments and everything that is related to your running application.
Okay. I just review again the chatter. Okay, yeah, I see another question, the last one. Can you run security scan manually and not with Auto DevOps?
Absolutely. As mentioned before, Auto DevOps is just a very quick way to get onboarded on security, but you can create your own pipeline, and in your pipeline you can just create a SaaS job or a dependency scanning job. You can copy and paste our snippet, our definition of the job, or you can tune it to better fit your needs, and then the results will be shown in the merge request widget in the security dashboard as well.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so I see there are no more further questions, and I think we covered it all, yeah?
Yeah, seems so.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, and I hope you all find it beneficial and interesting. We will send a recording later, and by the way, if you have any further questions, feel free to email me tg@almtoolbox.com. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Okay. Have a nice day. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.